So let's start this panel discussion with a view from you, Dhirendra. In what way has the gamut of investing for retirement itself changed in recent years, in your opinion? You've been watching this space for a long time. You've been advising people for a long time. What's your view on how the world itself is changing for retirement when it comes to investment?
Two fundamental change, which radically alters the way people look at retirement. One is the longevity. People, the way people are going to live longer. That will be in for surprise. It looks like a very normal thing, if you're going to live for 90 years rather than 75. Then your post-retirement life is going to be double, twice as much as I'm just saying an example, and that is it is steadily going up. The other is the healthcare cost and the general inflation, the cost of living. This is so with the inflation is actually altering in a different way as well. The interest rate, the way people have been used to, so that radically alters the way people look at investment, look at retirement. The old ways, where interest rates were high and everybody was able to, wriggle through, without any planning, without much of a planning, you could save, accumulate, and seemingly get a reasonable return. And that was good enough. Now that will not be good enough because interest rates will be low. And a risk aversion of that kind will not help. So one has to completely take a new way of looking at retirement, your accumulation phase, and I don't think those changes are, forthcoming.
All right, Lovaii, striking the right balance between investing for retirement and for other goals can be tricky. So how can investors maintain that balance?
So I think what happens is that investors tend to think sequentially. They look at things which are coming up immediate and want to plan for that. The other thing they tend to plan more for is things where there are lump sum goals. So where I need a large chunk of money, that's where people tend to also start planning. But on a continuous drip, which typically what is going to happen in retirement is not something that people are ready for. They sometimes tend to push this behind. So the questions I think that one needs to ask oneself in terms of planning for goals and therefore giving the importance to retirement is that is there something, is this goal something that you can borrow against or not? Is this something that you can postpone or not? Is it something that you can downplay or under sort of size and spend little less on or not? And I think those questions will probably give you the importance of retirement, that it's something that you cannot borrow against, and therefore it is a priority for investors. So if you plan this, then and the important thing I think from also what Dhirendra mentioned is that the earlier you start planning for retirement, the more time you have to plan for it. And of course, doing a very, very detailed sort of assumptions and having them right in terms of life expectancy, inflation, rate of return is all very important.